Hi fam, I am Chef Leah Delight DiBernardo. Welcome to At the Table, our new weekly podcast where we invite thought-provoking guests to gather around the table to talk about good food, community, and everything in between. My pup Remy and I are happy you're here. Hey, this is Chef Leah and welcome back to the table. We are here today with one of my really favorite humans. And I kind of take pause right now as I think about how cool Walter is. And then I find out this morning his middle name is James. So it's Walter James Carter that's here at the table. And for our listeners, don't forget, we have a service poodle that likes to wander around, Miss Remy, and she's sharking around under the table right now. So if you hear a little shimmy, you hear us referring to her, you know what we're talking about. You don't think we're crazy. Right? A little craziness, but that's always a thing.
It is.
Being a little crazy.
Crazy.
So
that's good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're here this morning. We're just gonna start laughing. Oh my God.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Listen, I was saying earlier, this is amazing. Like for the longest I've been doing what I've been doing, to be here with you right now, I'm telling you, I made it. This is it. I'm good. I don't do anything else, this is it. Well, this is it. And then I jokingly said earlier, and I'm going to say it again, but if we just had Lil Wayne here. Yeah, now that.
Right.
I don't know if I'd ever leave if you got Wayne.
Right? I don't think he'd let us leave.
Well, he'd have to do a lot of his earlier stuff for us to really get into it. But if I could just meet him, I'd say hello. But yeah, I'm a fan of his.
I really dig that.
I was stoked to find out that you were also a Wayne fan. That's high praise.
Okay.
So that about you?
I don't think I'm a closet Lil Wayne fan. I think I'm pretty out there. I love all music, man. I'm not.
Same.
I'm going to get so much blowback from this. Not a huge country person. Sorry, Emil.
Okay.
Are you just like, no, what the?
I grew up in Tampa, Florida. So that inevitably you get country stuff. Like you have playing football, being around guys in the locker room.
Okay.
You pick up you have to. It's part of your repertoire. So
I had no idea.
Yeah, I should have put that. If you asked me things that are, but like, they're early stuff. I'm talking like, these are names that you absolutely know. Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson. I'm talking about.
Okay.
Mainstream.
I'm there.
Into like, Kenny Chesney, there's a couple things and I'm like, okay, but I like all music. I'm into it. I love the artistry of creating a song, putting music to words and saying, hey, this is how I feel. And if you can do that, I think there's something really, really magical about it.
Right. It is magical. There's so much art to many things. And I don't think, like, let's take that, what you're just talking about, what you're so enamored with. And I love how much you love music. And that's going to tell me a little bit about you and why you're good at what you do. Right. So you're in the field of hospitality. You're the executive director at Danza and Masia del Via.
Yeah, Masia de la Vinya and Danza del Sol Winery.
Out in Temecula Valley's wine country, which is here in Southern California, because some of our listeners don't know where we're located.
Temecula.
Right. So, okay, music, wine.
Yes.
There's a rhythm.
Sure.
Right. There's a rhythm to wine. So tell us what you do.
You know what? You hit it on the head. God, you're right. There's a rhythm even to the hospitality, right? I just did a workshop and I was explaining to the staff or this group of people that if you're really paying attention, almost like dancing, right? So recently I've been hanging out with the friends of ours and they're really into like banda and this different kind of, they're
into what?
Banda. So,
what is that?
And it's the big instruments.
Okay.
Trumpets.
Gotcha.
And so we've been going out dancing and I'm watching these guys and these women dance and they just have this rhythm. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out like, what is the step that they're doing? And we're talking about it. And so.
The dance, you mean, the step.
Okay. How they're doing. And she said, my friend's buddy, his wife said, well, it's on the girl to really just pay attention. So the guy leads, right? And so what he does is he kind of pushes you and pulls you just like a normal dance would be. But there's no it's not planned out. It's just you follow the rhythm of the music, you follow the guy. And I think hospitality, a lot like that, is the same way. There's no real plan, but there's a plan, right? My plan is to show you this really great experience. That's my plan. Now, how we do that is going to be really based on how you move. Then I move with you, right? So if there's people that come in that are really, really, they really know their stuff. They know their wine. They traveled to France and beyond. So like talking about some of the entry level stuff about wine, they're going to kind of go, yeah, I know, So now you have to, you're dancing.
And then how do you navigate that?
You got to kind of move, you got to know.
That's really interesting and kind of beautiful. So you work with your team, right? Yes. To basically have this dance with your guests.
I think the biggest thing you can do in hospitality is identify who you're talking to. There's no way that you're somebody who's into food. You're going to want to know where the protein was sourced. Where did the vegetables come from?
Dude, I get so Portlandia about it. I'm like, can you please go find out where the chicken's from? And was it loved and petted and cared for?
And this is something that we've recognized that some people just want to know.
Yeah.
Other people come in and they could care less. They don't care about where it was sourced. They want to take a picture.
So fair.
Yes, it's okay. Yeah. The analogy I use is being from Florida. There's people, you would go to the beach and there would be people in their car reading a book. And there'd be people on the beach doing whatever, listening to music. And there'll be people like 100 yards out swimming. All those people come and leave. And you say, hey, did you have a good time at the beach? Yeah, I had a great time. You all three did something different, but you all enjoyed the beach in your own way. Wine, experience, food is the exact same thing. I don't judge you for wanting to go to the beach and read a book. That's how you enjoy the beach. So if you want to come to the winery and all you care about is taking a selfie in front of the sign, in front of the venue,
cool.
Love it. I love, matter of fact, let me take it for you. And if you really want to go back there and talk to Justin Knight, our winemaker, and learn how to be a winemaker, let me get you back there so you can go talk to him. Both of those people had a great time. Two completely different experiences. That's hospitality to me.
That is hospitality. Hospitality is so much about service above self, right? And I don't think you can be in this game. And I call it a bit of a game because of all the different things we get to do, I suppose, and all the different people we serve. And I mean that in a most pleasant way, in a very respectful way. But you can't be in this if you don't realize that it is about the guest and the guest experience.
100%.
And it's interesting these days because, one, there's just so much going on politically, and everyone has such like a dominant perspective on how things should be and what you should be doing for us, right? When they walk through that door, they have this, they're locked into that. And then no one's afraid to just like start filming. And it's a little much. Like, I don't mind the selfies, but then all of a sudden, like, I don't like something, so I'm going to film this situation. And I don't think we need to go there because we're such positive people. And I want to just keep up with that conversation. So how would you and how would your team, like, how are you dealing with I suppose what I like to call like the new guest, right? Like, how do you guys deal with difficulty with a guest at the winery?
What we're finding is, that's a really good question. What we're finding is that a lot of guests who we see, let me back up. What we'd love to see, I think my favorite guest is the one that this is their first time. This is their brand new to wine. Whether they're 21 or not 21, well over. I love when they've kind of had these journeys and now they've ended up on our doorstep and they're saying, all right, give me what you got. I don't know anything. That allows us to kind of set the foundation. Now we want to really knock it out of the park. So now wherever they go after this, they're going to have a real hard time, beating the standard that we've set. But the new guests that we're seeing right now I think it's actually the other way. They're actually a lot more, maybe because the information is at your fingertips. You think you know more than maybe you do. Right. Or maybe you actually do know.
No, there's so much of that right now. There's so much of we're being told, not asked.
Yeah. So then you have to take that in. But again, this is about recognizing who you're talking to. If you come to the door and say, hey, we were just in France, we had a Sancerre, we want this, and I don't want the Sauvignon Blanc because I know it's going to be a little bit too much grapefruit. Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm going to pour you some wine. At some point, I'm going to pour it blind, the Sauvignon Blanc that you said you didn't want because you already knew what it tastes like, right? And you're going to go, this is amazing. Yeah. That's the Sauvignon Blanc that you said you didn't want because it would. So sometimes you have to reel them in. I'll gain your trust by doing what you asked, and then you're going to trust me, and you're going to go, man, Walter, these wines are great, and I love the way you explain this and that. And I'm going to start to see your palate is going to go, okay, you're ready for it now.
Well, there's something to be said. Oh, I'm sorry, Remy. Are we holding you up, Remy?
Sorry.
She's like, I like a Sancerre, yo. Yes, I know, baby. There's something to be said for working with people who do know what they want, but also being in service and being assertive. That's part of my pivot with my team. I'm like, listen, like, things change, society changes, like technology has brought us a long way and a lot of people are going to come at you.
Mhm.
One, we do not put up with any rudeness. We absolutely don't. Like if you're going to come at the team, we're going to very gently ask you to leave.
Gonna show you the
Right?
door.
We
You
don't
can
put
pick
up with
one.
bullying. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, you can go outside and do that.
Yeah, wherever. Yeah.
Go do that with yourself in your car.
Right.
At the beach, reading your book.
We won't do that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
And I know you're not listening to Lil Wayne while you're doing that.
You can't be.
That's right.
He would never do that.
He would never do that.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. Now we're going to figure out how to get him on the show.
All
Right. You know me, man. When there's a will, there's a way.
I believe in you. Just make sure I'm here when he gets here.
I'm glad you believe.
Okay. I do.
Okay. So I'm going to circle back to, I have pivoted with the team, and it sounds like you're doing the same thing, right? It's okay to know what you know, and it's okay to be assertive with that. And I don't mean be rude, but just really stand your ground with, because we get a lot of that. No, this is absolutely not grass fed. Like, what do you mean? Or this is not a Sauvignon Blanc. It's like, okay, so I'm going to walk you through what we do and why we do it. And then I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to leave that on the table, and 100%. I'm going to move on. And I'm not going to stay here and have this part of that conversation.
100%.
I have noticed with guests love that. They love when you're not wishy-washy. Because they want that experience, and there's too much going on. Think about scrolling. Like you're only there for seconds, right?
Right.
It's the same thing now in food and I think wine.
It is. And I'm somebody who loves, I will say this though, having had a career prior to being in wine, in food, I was a server and
tell me
some fine dining in Florida.
Okay. Fine dining. I love my fine dining human.
Well, I think I was trained, I wouldn't say classically trained, but we were just trained. You did the crummer, the long apron, and it was about service. And you didn't, you really had to course out the meal. You weren't allowed to just ring it all in, and you weren't allowed to auction off food. You had to know the seat position. And so I think getting trained that way is taught me some things. It's carried over in my wine career. I will say this: the guest that's sitting down to eat food, I think, is different than a guest that is standing at the bar to drink wine. Because there's something about, and I've told this story a bunch. When I come to the table and I take your order and you say, hey, I want a steak, I want it medium, and I want, the salad and the thing, there's a level of expectation. There's a level of, there's a transfer of something that happens as a guest. Now I'm holding you, the server, accountable for that steak, for the right? Some kind of reason. It's your fault if this steak does not come
that's so true.
the right way.
Yeah.
It's your fault if, and it's like, listen, man, I ring it in. I told the chef, I'm doing the best I can, so I'm sorry, but something about when you're sitting at the wine bar, it feels like, and this is just could be me, as a server, I feel like I do still, I retain the power. Like I don't see people getting upset because the Sauvignon Blanc is grassy or grapefruity or whatever.
See what you're
it's
saying.
Almost like they go, oh, well, that's the winemaker, right? That's his style. But the steak is my fault as a server. Does that?
Because there's no chefs in the back throwing shit, right? What do you mean? Who is that?
Right.
They want to come out with like a steak on a knife, rain it into your plate.
Right. I don't know what that is, but I definitely, when I left the food industry, when I left the service industry, I really didn't want to do hospitality anymore because I had dealt with so many people. Now, I had some great interactions.
We are so on the same page, but go.
I had some really great interactions as a server. One of the best interactions I had one night is this guy and this girl were on a date, and I could recognize he was on a date. And so we did the thing where I brought him an extra glass of wine and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I did the thing, whatever the thing is for you, I did the thing. So at the end of the meal.
Because you're picking up on what they need.
Yeah, what he needed. And I kind of get out when you need to get out and get in when you need to get in, make them laugh.
That's gorgeous.
Cater to her, but not too much. You don't want him to think you're flirting. Anyway, we get to the end of the meal and he goes, and this is early on. This is maybe a year and a half into me serving. He goes, sit down. And he was a bigger guy. You could tell he had, he was not, he wasn't Blake. And he goes, sit down. And that was a no.
He said, wait a minute. He said,
he's telling me at the end of the meal, I'm getting ready to drop the bill.
And he says, sit down.
Sit down. And I'm looking around.
He doesn't ask. He tells you.
Yeah, he tells me. And I'm looking around because that's a no-no. In the restaurant, you're not allowed to sit down. You can't even squat down at the table. You got to take the order here. He goes, no, sit down. And I go, I'm looking around for somebody like, hey, this guy's asking me, what do I do? Because now you got to please the guest.
Yeah.
So I sit down. I look around and I'm waiting and I'm fine. Because I don't want to piss him off. So I sit down. He goes, I'm going to sign this, but I want you to tell me how much you want me to tip you. I can't, listen. And listen, right now I'm thinking about how I felt in that moment. I'm about to cry.
Okay.
Right
when was this?
This would have been 2009 ish.
Okay.
Right. So I'm young puppy,
No.
And I'm crumbling inside because this is
Dude, you're making me emotional. Stop it.
I'm sorry. Because this is against we're like breaking that fourth wall, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
We're like breaking that fourth wall because he's like, tell me what you want to make here. And I go, please don't do that to me. Like oh God. Anyway, so he goes, this was the best service I've ever had in my life. This is the best service I've ever had. And you should tell me what. I go, I don't even know. I think the bill was like $250. It wasn't even that expensive. I just threw it on.
In 2009, that was expensive.
Yeah, it was.
If Lil Wayne was there, he'd be like, Walter.
Well, I had some guys come in that were famous and they didn't do that. Long story short, I say $50. I think I just fine because he was like, I'm not signing to you. Give me a number. Like he really was being a.
So I would have straight up.
I should have, but that was just against my grain, right? And so I said, I don't know, $50, And I think he wanted to leave me like $150. He goes, I would have left you $500.
It's I'm so grateful that you just laid that down on the table, right? Because it's I've been. And we're not going to go down this path. I'm just going to say that I've been so caught up with a lot that's happening in our world right now, and it's really hurting my heart. And so when things are negative and things are hurting me and I'm having like a hard time with that, I go to the good stories.
Yeah.
Right? I find the good stories because I know that there's more good than bad, man. There just is. And that goodness, that light is just going to wrap itself around the darkness. So with you sharing that, it just so lifted my spirit right now. And I do get emotional with my humans that I know in service that have these stories because that's why we're in it. And when you said, I just don't even want to even do hospitality anymore. So I grew up in the world of food, right? That's why we're at the table. The table's about heritage and stories and everything that happens around these tables, right? From the work we do to the meals we have and the meals we share. And when I worked at Water Grill downtown LA. I was one of the people who opened that place, right? It's a Michelin star. And you want to talk about how you're trained. So I had that level of training. And when I left, I'm like, I am never doing this again. What the hell? And then what do I do 10 years later? I open a restaurant, a catering company, not just one, but like all this stuff.
Let's do it all, right?
And I'm like, okay, but when you're in it for a reason, right? Like it's almost like we're called to serve.
I was just about to say, that's why you go back. Because if you leave, I leave that restaurant, I go, that's it. I'm done with hospitality. But if it's really in you, now we're about to get to something else. And I know this is your show, but this is a question that I pose a lot.
Maybe you're a guest and you got all the room.
One of the things I always say is, can you teach hospitality? Now, here to your point, we get out of it. We go, hey, we're done. That's it. I've served my time. I did it. I've
served my time.
I've given you everything I got because I think hospitality is kind of self-serving. There's something about it. What they say, the best way to receive is to give, right? So if you're in a time of need, you don't go around asking people to give. You go give. What can you give? Your time, your effort, your energy, your love, your care, whatever you have, you go give it and watch what happens in the universe. Tenfold, it'll come back to you, right? So when you're in the hospitality business, that's essentially what you're doing. I want to create. I'm probably not going to be a doctor in this lifetime. I'm probably not going to be a lawyer. I'd love to be a teacher, but I just don't see that happening.
You kind of are.
Right. Okay.
Things.
Well, so then this is my charge, right?
Sure.
So what I say is, this is my way of giving back to the world. This is my way of helping. If I can create these beautiful experiences, something that you can live a lifetime and go, man, remember that time we went to Danza and that guy took us out on we had this wine and we took those pictures. If I can give you that little nugget, then I've done my job. Like I feel like that's that's my legacy.
Gift.
If it is, that's my gift.
Oh my gosh, it is a legacy. It's not a business, it's a legacy.
It's a legacy because you'll pass that on.
Oh my gosh.
So then my question is this. If a lot of the people who talk about hospitality, who really love it, because that's why we go back, because we must love it, we're called to do it, that lives in here. That's not here. You're not thinking about how much money you're making. Because if that was the case, we'd probably do something else. That's in here. So my question is, when I do these talks and I go to these workshops and I go to the symposium, can you teach hospitality? That's how I start a lot of my talks. Let me ask you guys a question. Can you teach hospitality? And I ask that question rhetorically, but really, sometimes I go, I don't know. My wife and I.
It's like me trying to train someone to be kind.
Exactly.
It's got to be in you.
If it's not in you. So my wife always says, she said, well, what if you turn somebody on to the idea of it? Like you almost like plant the seed and then they go, oh, I do like this. And I didn't know. Okay. But that still has to be in you. Can I teach you hospitality? I can teach you what it looks like. I can teach you that dance, that rhythm. And I don't even know if you can teach that because you got to be in tune. I have to be paying attention.
No, you really do. You have to have eye for detail. You need to know how to communicate. You've got to know how to hustle.
You gotta.
Like I can't give you that.
And the pivot. We talk about the pivot. You come in with the bag and you think, I can see you've had a long day. Instead of asking, hey, which wine do you want? I just bring. Here, just have that.
Right.
And you almost go, what?
Yeah.
Listen, let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's not talk. Put your bag down.
It's a gift.
Have that. I'll come back. And they go, how did you know? I know. I know. Or they do this when they walk in the restroom. You need the restroom this way. How did you know? I'm paying attention. That's how I know.
We call it the 10-4 rule at E.
10-5. We do 10-5.
10-5?
Yep.
I love that. So what that is, so just so everybody knows, well, Walter, why don't you tell us what?
Well, 10-5. So at 10 feet, I see you and I need to do something that you know that I'd see you.
Yeah.
Because if I do this,
just looking around,
and then you go, well, I don't know, you're doing this thing, right? So at 10 feet, there's got to be some sort of acknowledgement every time.
Engagement.
Yeah,
right?
Engagement. And then at 5, now I'm speaking to you. I'm looking at your eyes. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'll get in here, right? There's this invitation.
Come here. We want to love you.
Get in here, right? You want people to go, holy cow. Yeah, really.
It's interesting. I think that a lot of people gravitate to us. People like yourself, myself, and then people that we surround ourselves with, and I mean our team, right? Because I really learned the hard way. And I actually want to touch on that for a second, but they gravitate to us or they run the other direction because it's so big. This love is so big and you want to pull them in. Like I'll be in the front of the restaurant, like, hi, and I can't even be as loud as I'm going to be, right? Because the mic's right here and I'm going to blow everybody's eardrums off. But it is like, so like, hi, thank you so much. Come on in. How you doing? Or I'm just like, hey, have you been here before? Who are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name? And they're like, who the is that? And you can see they either want to walk out or they want to come in.
Yeah, because some people, they're almost like, oh my God. I just wanted to get a sandwich and I'm out, And
I'm going to duck out. But, one of the things you said that is resonating with me is, can you teach hospitality?
Please.
Sometimes we have to watch for that to come out in people. And if I detect that it's there, I'll put the time in with humans because I was one of those people, right? Because I start, I'm a chef by trade.
Right.
I'm the back of the house. And I started cooking in the 80s, man. My grandfather was a chef. I grew up with Sicilians. Like things were done a certain way. There was no food shows. Things weren't fancy.
Right.
It wasn't cool. We worked our butts off, right?
Right.
And I never wanted to be in a kitchen again after the 80s and even into the 90s. Because I cooked a little bit through Europe. So anyway, long story short, I was so gruff when I started my career here in Temecula, like as a chef and with my team. And even guests, like, I don't want to be in the front. Absolutely not. You go deal with that. That was my attitude. And like, what an interesting and not a receiving place to be. But yet the other side of me, you could ask me to donate. You could ask me to give my time. You could ask me to help someone. And I'm like, yo, what do you need?
Yeah.
I'm like first on the scene.
Right.
So I had to learn but you also have to want to. And I did.
You have to want to.
And it took my team. What is it called when you, you have an addiction and everybody sits your ass down?
Intervention.
Oh, there was an intervention, man. There was an intervention with my team.
They
loved me and they loved what I stood for, but they were like, you
got it. Yeah, you got to chill.
I didn't want to say what they
you got to chill. You got to chill out. Yeah, you got to chill out.
And I was very receptive and it took some time.
Feedback.
It's taken
feedback.
That's
a
right.
Listen, my hospitality core principles, feedback. You got to be able to give it clearly, and you have to be able to receive.
You got to be able to take it.
Because if you can't take it, don't dish it.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, that's from leadership down and up. That's a two-way street. The foundation of what we're trying to create has got to be a two-way street. I can't just be a leader and go, Leah, you were late and I need you and blah, 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 right? So now when there's something that I didn't do that was great, I got to leave that door open for you to be able to come back to me and say, hey, you know what? The way you kind of approached me or the way we talked about this is not the way you handled it. I got to be able to hear that.
Amen to that. And I am not sorry and I have no regrets that I kind of came up that way because I failed so hard that I learned so much from it. And I still to this day, I'll stop and some of my team members will see it. They're like, "Oh, chef, man, you are doing such a good job." And instead of being like, don't even. I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
Because I authentically want to be that person in other humans' lives because Walter, it's hard enough out there.
It is.
Like it's hard in the world. I don't want anyone who works with me to come in and feel like they're going to be beaten up again all day, because then that only transcends to our guests.
Yep.
Then the guests feel like not welcome.
Yeah,
right?
they almost do the thing like, "Hey, blink twice if you're okay," right? Like, "Hey, are you guys good here?"
Blink twice. Are you safe?
Are you good?
I had someone who like called us out on that, and this was years ago, and like, "She must be awful to work with. Are you guys actually okay?" And I read that and I was like, "Oh, right." So you learn a lot about yourself. You have to want to learn a lot about yourself in hospitality, at least if you're going to be in it as long as you and I are.
Correct.
Right. All right.
Yeah, because it's a mirror, and but here's the thing.
So much.
I think that my end result. So it sounds like you're saying, for the most part, that you can teach it, but you have to want to learn it.
You have to want to learn it. You have to already have that as part of your vernacular, part of your DNA. It has to be there, man.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So speaking about all of that, it's all a little bit deep, but you get deep people in the world of hospitality, right? I want to know a little bit more about the winery.
Okay.
Can you share the winery story?
Yeah. So I've been there since 2012. I think, wine country, as we know it in Temecula Valley, is a beautiful thing. One of the things I talk about all the time is that I'm a fan of Temecula Valley, not just the wineries I run, but I'm a fan of the valley.
I love that.
Coming where I came from, to see a small town like this, a big little small town, have all these little pockets of wonderful, and all these pockets of people that are just wonderful. To be able to have somebody come and have a day in Temecula, I love putting together an itinerary. I love saying, "Hey, you got to go to eat. You got to come out to wine country, maybe do a balloon, go to Pachanga, do the thing, right?"
We do that all day long.
All day. People are all day, "Hey, I'm coming to town. What do I got to do? How many days you got?" Right? That's the first thing I say. How much time do you have? Because if you only got one, it makes it incredibly hard. But if you got 2 or 3, then I can get you to some of the good things. But the winery itself, Danza was the first on Deep Portola, started by an amazing guy. I got a chance to meet him several times. He's still around, Dr. Phil Singer. He actually comes out to the winery every 6 or 7 months or so. I get to take a picture with him. We go out to the vines. He'll tell me stories.
He was good friends with my brother Louis, and that's how I met him. When it was just, I almost wanted, it was like a
like a tiny. The pictures I saw, I never saw it
building
as a shack, but not a shack, but it was a tiny building.
Yeah,
and
that's okay. I almost said that too. I was thinking that.
Well, he tells a story. He said one day, as wine country started to gain its popularity, he apologized profusely to everybody that came to the door, and everybody's going, "What's going on?" He goes, "I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry." He goes, "I got to raise the price of tastings. I got to raise it by a quarter. It's now $2.25, right?" When he tells that story, I go, "Doc, do you know how much a tasting is today?" You know what I mean? So when you think about like the way that Temecula has always felt like to me is like this really cool club. I feel like even though we're all individual wineries, we're really all working together. I think that part, that community and kind of this adventurous spirit about Temecula, I think you can see it in all the different places. When we do these different events, we host different things for winemakers, for owners. It's not like people are sitting in the back of the room going, "This."
It's my favorite place to come and do things. I'm just going to tell you that. Like when you asked us to come out last year.
Yes.
We could talk more about that because I want you to finish where you're going. But like, I love the spirit of Danza and I like being there.
Thank you. Well, the long story is I love the community. Danza itself, 5th oldest in all of Temecula, first on Deep Portola. Masia came a couple years later. Bob Olson, who purchased from Doc, he purchased Danza, then he purchased Masia, and now Ken Smith owns it. And Ken Smith, as we know,
Ken Smith has Galloway Downs.
He has Galloway Downs, Native Falls, Cross Creek. The Goose that laid the Golden Eggs, they run Southwest Traders. He's owned Southwest Traders for years. He started that company I think he was in his 20s.
So just so our listeners know, so Danza del Sol was up for not Danza del Sol. Galloway Downs was up for hosting the Olympics for the equestrian, and that almost happened. And then went away, and that made us all a little sad. But I think things happen for a reason. 100%. So hats off to the whole team at Danza and Ken for working really hard to try to make that happen.
They did. They pushed really hard, and I think it was good. I think it was good for us. I think we all looked like us, you know.
It was cool. I was starting to, okay.
I had a cup.
Where are we going to suite? Where are we going? Like, what Instagram pages do we? I'm like sitting here doing a dance.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Everybody was excited. But it was good. I mean, I think it was good for us. And Ken, his wife Tina, they have 5 boys. They're really wonderful. They really care about the community. Talk about giving back.
Yeah.
And just really support the community, whether it's soccer or donations. They just really support Temecula Valley. And I think they're a great example for us to just kind of strive. And it's nice to hold up that the business for them.
The gauntlet of that. And it's interesting to see a lot of the things that are happening out at Danza del Sol too, because you guys now do a tour to the back side of the property, which I think is so cool because there's that you guys have shade back there. You have a table,
pergola, if you will,
and it's back. But guys, just so you know, when I'm talking about this, you have to take an ATV to like a few minutes to the back side of the property, and you can like look out, and you feel like you're in Tuscany, and you're sipping wine. Like it's crazy cool.
It's a really awesome, and we started it late last year.
We started it late.
Yeah, late 23, early 24. Yeah. We've been doing it about a year, I guess, give or take. And it's just really taken off and people have really enjoyed it. And it's fun. And we got some really cool things coming down the pipeline. Ken wants to really see it. He's all about
give us one of those cool things.
Well, Ken's he's all about nature. And so when he redid Cross Creek, he doesn't want to like cut down trees. He actually purchased a tree spade. He'll actually take the tree out of the ground and then replant it somewhere rather than just cut it down. He loves rock and nature. So if you ever go out to Cross Creek Golf Course here in Temecula, you'll see it.
That's up in Duluth.
Yeah, right? And so what he did, he lifted up the apron. I mean, it's beautiful, but I don't think they cut down not one tree.
Okay, this is something like I know him. I know Ken. And I did not know this about him. I'm kind of blown away that he's such a nature doer.
Trees. He wants to preserve it. He knows a lot about it.
Yeah.
It's really one of his passions. And so what he wants to do is accentuate the view at Danza. So we'll be putting in a members multi-tiered terrace that really accentuates the view. He's going to do some things to really give the property a facelift without cutting down any trees.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And it's going to be able to see the sunset, and we're really excited. Maybe a restaurant, possibly a speakeasy at some point.
It's well in harmony with nature, right?
Yeah. He really loves it. He really, really loves it.
Well, our environment needs more people like that.
Right,
so
right.
How beautiful.
Yeah. We're excited. So, a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline for Danza and for Masia. We're excited.
And you guys are on the De Portola Trail.
De Portola Trail. So Masia, depending on which way you come, it would be the first or the last, depending on which. And Danza's kind of like right in the middle. So 24 planted acres, 42 total at Danza, and another 9 at Masia. So together, Justin Knight, our winemaker, has a big task of making wine for both properties, completely different.
Who is the winemaker up there?
Justin Knight. Justin Knight. He's been there since he was, I think, like 18 years old. He's been there for 16 years. Started out as a bar back, and now he's the head winemaker, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, I love that.
Me
Promote
too.
from within.
Me too.
It's a huge thing at Eat too.
I was a weekend warrior. I worked on Saturday and Sunday when I first got here. That's what they call you, a weekend warrior. And then at some point they came to me and said, "Hey, can you work during the weekend?" I was like, "I don't know," because I was loving the weekend. I thought the weekend was the way to go because you get all the bachelorettes, you get all, just big energy. Well, then I worked a weekday shift and I was like, I never want to work a weekend again. Because I didn't realize that that's where not to say that there aren't quality guests on the weekend, but now you can slow down. You can take your time. And now
you get a different grouping.
Your hospitality has. So now I think that's what helped blossom my hospitality heart, because now during the week, I can ask you questions. I can talk to you about what are you visiting? What's going on with you? What do you like? What do you do with wine? How do you see wine?
Oh, okay.
I can't do that on Saturday and Sunday. I pour
right,
Saturday.
You can't.
Okay, next.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, great. But that's Saturday. You're just.
So now you got me thinking about something that I just, so our listeners know, I always send out some questions to our guests. And one of the things that Walter came back with, and I love this, is it wasn't just like my favorite actor. It was like, I could hear him. So my favorite all time, like if I could meet, oh my gosh, amazing. And I'm reading, I'm like, okay, who is it going to be? Julia Roberts, right? So I love this about you. I would have never guessed that. We've gone from now favorite music, Lil Wayne to Julia Roberts. Right. So here's a question for you. If you could pair a Danza del Sol or Masia wine with any of Julia Roberts' movie characters, which pairing would you choose and why?
Oh, that's good.
It's so good. I'm so good, right?
So
hey, give me a little.
Right
give me a little.
I'm so
just
mad
so
at
good.
you right now. That's
I got
such a
myself
good
off.
question. Oh, that's such a good question. And I'm telling you now, I'm stealing that. Just
Okay, you can steal
I'm stealing that for lifetime.
I'm gonna write. I'm putting my name right by
That's
it.
That's a good interview question. I think I love that. That's a great, like, if you're trying to build a team,
Yeah.
I think that says a lot. You can get somebody's personality.
Well, that's what we do, right?
I know. Yeah.
Well, dude, come on. Let's
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So 2 of my favorites. Oh gosh, that is so hard.
Come on,
okay,
Julia Roberts. I'm standing right in front of you.
Okay, so the movie that really did it for me was Steel Magnolias, right? And I don't know, maybe 13 or 14. I don't know what it was about that movie. I don't know why I watched it so many times. I know it word for word.
I can see you crying, right?
Yes, right. Because here's the thing. The movie starts out great. You're celebrating this woman doing the thing, and then suddenly it's not the way that it started. I think to me that says a light to medium body red. I'm going to go with the Cab Franc. I'm going to go with the Cab Franc because I think in the beginning it's smooth and it's subtle. As it begins to open up, it kind of really hits you depending on what you pair it with. Probably in Shelby's case, it shouldn't be something with a lot of sugar, right? Because she was a diabetic. So I'm going.
I'm like trying. If I knew how to do that snap, everybody does. You know when you like, I'm doing that in my head right now because I'm so.
Yeah, I would go Cab Franc, and I'm just throwing that off the cuff just because something that starts out smooth and light or light her bodied and can really open up and be, because that movie starts out, you're just seeing, you're loving it. And then all of a sudden it's hard. It's heavy.
Because Shelby was a diabetic. Did you guys all tune into that when Walter said that?
Yeah,
you know that.
I know that. I know. I mean, I know it. And I love Julia Roberts. I think I tell my wife all the time that if I met her, that Julia would want to hang out. Like she'd want to hang out. I just would feel.
Okay, now it's going to be Julia Roberts and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, if we can get them both here. Yeah,
right.
I think she'd want to hang out. I think I could get her to come have a glass.
Well, she loves dogs, so Remy's here.
Remy, let's go. I need you. Let's go. Me, you, Wayne, and Julia. Let's and show.
This show is going to be lit. Well, I think it is lit today, just having you here. That is one of the most beautiful pairings I have ever.
Thank you. That's
heard. Come on, the way you just you sculpted it. And then how you brought it home.
Yeah, you're good. This is good. That was good. You did good.
Oh my gosh.
I could do this all day.
Right? Do this all day. I'm having so much fun.
Let's just go. Let's
one of the things that we committed to is being around the table with, people who weren't scared to share, right? But also just that have joy in them. And this is something we know each other. We've known each other for a while, but we haven't been able to break bread and have a meal yet. And that shit's going to stop. Yeah. And I'm going to bunt that out to you for a time.
Okay.
And we're going to share a meal.
What's the thing you said in the beginning? You say the conversation,
okay.
That too.
Well, I didn't say it in the beginning, but it's the closing to the show.
Okay.
But you want to talk about it for a minute? I think we have 5 minutes
Okay,
left.
just give me a peek of it because I just want to.
So when we're sharing a meal, it starts conversations. Every time you're at the table, it's conviviality, which John Kelleher gives me, who's a friend of ours from the community.
Yep.
Right? He owns Grapevine.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And
Strider.
And that's one of my words. We all have different things we say, but mine is conviviality. So that's convivial, bringing people together, gathering. It means everything to me. It's the roots of how I was raised. And I'm so now in tune with how I was raised and my roots. And that's my truth. And I want to speak that. And that's what this table's about. Right? So it's all of that in that statement. There's so much meat there.
So good.
I'm just getting real about life because I want to hang out with and I want to talk to and I want people to start talking about how we can be kinder to one another in the face of so much animosity that's happening in our world, right? From our migrant workers. I'm dying to know, that's a whole nother show. Who's out in your fields, right? What are we all doing? Yeah. To kitchens and just understanding. I don't take a left or right position on that, right? I take a human position on that. And they're not people that are in our fields or people that are in our kitchens. They're human beings, right? So this show is talking about all of that.
I love it.
Right?
God, that's so good. Can you give it to me again?
Conviviality. Convivial, being convivial.
I love it.
It's so much a part of Slow Food. Slow Food, that international nonprofit that I brought to the Valley in 2002 and started garden programs and farm to table dinners. And their word was having, instead of groups, or chapters, you had conviviums. So I was like, oh, convivial. So
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Sure.
When you're doing a dinner, and obviously you've done a bunch of wine pairing dinners, do you prefer the like coursed or do you like family style?
It depends on who you're serving and where you're at and the conditions. 100%.
Okay.
Some groups need to be served. Some groups need to be family style.
I feel like the family style kind of exacerbates or pushes that whole conviviality, right?
Well, that's the way I always try to push guests.
Yeah, pass the peas and pass the, and now did you try this? Oh, let me scoop that. I love that feeling of.
And I like people getting up and changing places.
Oh, I love
that. So when I do these bigger events now, because we don't do as many weddings, the catering company that Eat has, we don't do as many weddings as we used to do. Because I'm always trying to push people more in that direction, right? I don't want it to be so formal. Right. And I think, we get to be a little picky and choosy. Picky and choosy? That's interesting. Yeah. What is it?
No, is that right? Picky? Doesn't matter. You get to decide.
We get to pick and choose, right? Who we get to work with, and they get to pick and choose us too. But I do like family style.
What is this move around thing? What is it? So during a wedding, you would almost tell them, hey, pick up your glass.
Oh, I've done it.
And
I've done it where we have them moved. Yes. And they move. No, not everybody, because you want to be with the other people.
Yeah. Because you're doing the whole meal at this end of the table. You're like, God, I wish I could hear that conversation.
Yep. But also think about the little bit of time we get together at these events, right? That we get to have. So why not go sit with someone else?
That's such a good.
Oh my gosh, there's so much that we still have to talk about. And we're going to do this again. I got to figure out how to bring you back.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Or you can come out to the winery, come hang out. We could bring this show on the road. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just come hang out. Let's hang out.
We're going to do that. That's a commitment. You just got it from me in the fall, right?
Now,
after Crush, which is,
fine. Yes. Yeah. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send you a questionnaire.
Okay.
Before, because that question about the Julia Roberts and the wine, that's really good. That's sticking with me.
I love that. This is how entrenched we are in hospitality, and we just want to know people better. That's a lot about you.
Yeah.
All right, one more thing.
Okay.
If you could raise a glass and make a toast to the most important element of true hospitality, what would that toast be?
What?
I'm so just
what is happening right
well,
now?
You said Lil Wayne, so I turned it on and I started writing my questions.
You're crushing it. Raise a toast to the true element of hospitality. I think it's care. I think you get it. I think you have to care. And I'm not just talking about care about the job. I think you got to care about people. I think you got to care about yourself, what you represent. I think you have to care. And I think, go back to your point, there's so many things you could take a stance on and feel a certain way about. But I think in our industry, what we get an opportunity to do is we get to push all of that to the side.
Yeah.
And now I get to just show you this moment and take care of you. And then you get to lead with that. And hopefully you go take care of somebody else and we spread that around, right? Pay it forward, if you will.
Yeah.
Another good movie. I think care. I think you have to care. I think I want to toast to caring. Here's caring about your loved ones, caring about those around you, your coworkers, creating culture. We didn't even talk about that, but I guess we did. But caring about your culture as a leader, you cared about your culture, right? Because your staff is saying, hey, chef, you're kind of being jerk a little bit. You say, you know what? I care enough about you guys to change. I see that. I hear it. If you care about what you're doing and you care about people, I think hospitality is 100% at the other end of that.
All right. So we have coffee cups ready.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Is there coffee in yours?
There's coffee, baby. There's coffee. All right, y'all.
All right.
Walter,
this is
James Carter, best name ever.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
At the table with us today.
At the table.
So.
Can't wait to come back.
Oh.
Can't wait to come.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, bated breath.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So you're welcome. And don't forget, every meal shared is a conversation started.
Let's cheers again.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Cheers.
Every meal shared is a conversation started. I want to thank our guests today, and I really want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. It means a lot to all of us. You can find us on Instagram at The Table with Leah and anywhere you listen to your podcast. At the Table is produced by the very mighty Studio 215. Programming manager, Nate Marriott, our awesome studio manager, Brian Umali, and the gorgeous show producer, Miss Mari Fuentes. Thanks for being here.